I can buy something big, no problem. No big deal. Or I can maybe give money to somebody else, no problem. But then the thought of adding an appetizer out to dinner at night, like, no, that's too much money. I think it's interesting because sometimes money can hurt or have strong emotions in places you least expect it.
We didn't have enough money to get our own groceries. And I remember going to this food storehouse with my mom. I'll never forget the look on her face. She just felt ashamed. He said, money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy opportunities. Those opportunities can lead to massive fulfillment. The greatest use of your wealth that's going to bring the highest level of fulfillment is to see it impact somebody else's life for better.
Yeah, why does money hurt so much?
Yeah. Hey, this is Nate with Capital and Consequence. I got Jake here on the podcast, and today the focus is money therapy. We're going to talk about the really important question, which we all need to dig down deep and find an answer to, which is, why does money hurt so bad? Why do we have such strong feelings about money? But before we do that, just know we are not giving any financial advice today. If you want financial advice, you're welcome to engage us as your financial advisor, or you can go talk to your financial advisor. But to start this off, Jake, you've had some strong feelings about money, right?
Sure.
I know your family has. Why? Why do you think? I know I have.
Yeah.
And I'm sure anybody listening to this can say, yep, I'm there too.
You know, I like this question a lot because I don't have an immediate answer as to why it hurts so much. I think the first thing
we have some layers to get through.
We do have some layers.
This is gonna be a true therapy session here.
Sure. I think, because I find it interesting sometimes where I can buy something big, no problem, no big deal. Or I can maybe give money to somebody else, no problem. But then the thought of adding an appetizer out to dinner at night, like, no, that's too much money. It's like $7 for queso. Yeah. It's like, no, it's too much money. And I think it's interesting because sometimes money can hurt or have strong emotions in places you least expect it.
I think it also has something to do with your identity. I think people have a hard time separating their financial situation from their self-worth and their identity. And I think back to my parents. My mom was an incredibly generous person, just by nature. She was just she just thought about people, that her kids were number one. Yeah, just very generous. And I think our financial problems were so painful to her because it put a cap on her ability in her mind. It put a limit on how much she could give us, how much she could do for us to benefit us. And I think that was a really significant internal struggle for her. It was devastating for her. We were on church welfare for a while. We didn't have enough money to get our own groceries. And I remember going to this food storehouse with my mom, and I'll never forget the look on her face. She just felt ashamed. And it wasn't so much that she was embarrassed that she was there. I think she felt sad that she was not able to get the very best in class of all the ingredients she wanted for her kids. She was also a really great cook.
Sure.
And was kind of a man, you could not go with my mom to a restaurant, especially an Italian restaurant. She would pick that place to pieces. And if you ate any of her food, it would ruin most Italian restaurants for you anyway. She was she took a lot of pride, and it was a love language of hers.
She sounds like a wonderful woman.
To cook for you. And this was the most annoying thing for me when I was a kid, is she would give me my plate of food and then she'd sit down next to me and watch me eat it. And I remember I was so uncomfortable by that because I could hear myself eating it. She can hear me, and it was just silence of like, Mom, is there anything else you could do? Like, this is delicious. It really is.
I promise.
But I think that was part of it for my mom, is she was such a giver. And if we had financial struggles, then that put a limit in her mind on what she can give. And that was painful. That was deep.
So it makes me wonder, you've been doing this for 20 years. And to be doing this for 20 years, you have to have made a little bit of money, at the very least.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Sure.
How did her identity change, if at all, as there was some more financial resources available in the family?
She was able to contribute and give back a whole lot. As my employee, so I hired my mom. I was in the industry for about 2 years before I hired my mom.
Okay.
And she couldn't be more excited. She loved the idea of working for me. And in her mind, she wasn't working for me. She was helping me.
Okay.
Right. She thought that she really believed in what I was doing. She believed that it was really solving problems for people, and she wanted to be a part of it. And so she felt like she was able to give and serve in another capacity. And she was amazing. You know, she passed away a few years ago, and man, that sent shockwaves through my clients. Even I have clients still today. They'll come in and they'll get teary-eyed just talking about my mom.
Yeah.
And I remember going to hosting workshops with her, and after the workshop, I would see her in the back corner of the room with some lady that we all just met that night, and they're back there hugging and crying together. And she just had this, and I'm thinking, that's kind of weird, Mom. Like we shouldn't be doing that. But she just had this ability to be just deeply, genuinely human with people, and she could relate to people's struggles. And so I think the idea that she was able to be a part of an effort that was helping people financially, which was something she had struggled with, was really meaningful and therapeutic for her.
So it sounds like her giving nature expanded as there was more resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of similar feelings where if as finances have become more abundant, I feel like I can often be a little bit more of myself. I don't have to feel the limitations anymore. I don't have to question things at every turn. You know? It's an interesting thing.
And you might be feeling what somebody I heard this. I was young when I heard somebody say this, and man, it just clicked for me, and it was just engraved in my brain. He said, "Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy opportunities." And those opportunities can lead to massive fulfillment.
Sure.
Right? In my opinion, the greatest use of your wealth that's going to bring the highest level of fulfillment is to see it impact somebody else's life for better. I mean, you can buy yourself enough stuff, right? And you can indulge yourself, bury yourself in whatever luxuries. And that pales in comparison to watching another individual enjoy those luxuries because of you.
Yeah.
There's something interesting about that.
It's very interesting.
So I think, but it doesn't take a lot of money to have that experience. And I think that is a huge misconception, as people say, well, someday when I have fill in the blank money, I'm going to do all these great things, and I'm going to have this fulfillment. It feels the same in every level.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something that makes a couple dollar difference to you, but it could make a positive impact, and you have that fulfillment. You get that payment.
Sure. We were talking about this the other week about how some of our favorite conversations with clients can be about helping them understand that they can give more than they think that they can. I think that's a common misunderstood planning topic that people don't understand is available to them. I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that exactly.
Yeah. Well, as you were saying that, I remembered I was at a conference last year, and I met some individuals who, in my mind, are true modern heroes, where they had some significant experiences in their own personal life that led them on this path to create these foundations that are making a massive difference in other people's lives. One of them, I remember, Justin Wren with Fight for the Forgotten. He'd been picked on and bullied as a kid, and became eventually a professional fighter, and fell on some real hard times in his personal life, and was even close to. I mean, he was questioning whether or not he should even live. He got
It's a hard time.
as low as you can get, and had this series of experiences that kind of woke him up. And long story short, he found a people who needed help in the Congo, and his organization has been has made a huge impact in people's lives by getting them essentially access to fresh water. And I remember him telling his story, and I'm in a room with probably 200 or 300 people, and everybody wanted to help this person. And if you look at the degree of interest they had, I mean, it was far more than everybody wanting a certain car or a certain watch or something. It was like, man, they were emotional about it. I mean, I wasn't the only person who had, some wet eyes. I may or may not have been allergic to something at the time, maybe. I don't know. But there were other people who, I mean, I heard sniffling all around, and it's just amazing that they saw so much joy. And this guy, Justin, was great at helping everyone kind of catch the vision of how much joy there is in having discretion over your wealth and directing it in a way to change people's lives for the better. That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. And there are effective ways of doing that, and there are less effective ways and very ineffective ways of doing that. And so when you understand the game of finances and you understand the tax code, you can identify ways that will that make the biggest impact financially and give you the biggest impact financially, where there's as little waste as possible, where every dollar that you want going to a good cause can go there.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes me wonder about the original question. Why does money hurt? And I wonder if you think we just answered it.
I might have to go back and listen to us to see if we went down this trail.
Yeah. Well, what I just heard you say is that person had more control and direction over their finances. And I think about for myself all the times that I've been caught in a place where I had to spend in the ways that I didn't want to, or money didn't come to me in the ways that I thought it would. I had a loss of control that seemed to impact my identity. So it seems almost as if there's a client satisfaction or a personal satisfaction when you have control or a plan over the money that you are using.
Yeah. I think a good way to look at it, and I agree with that 100%, that money at the end of the day is going to fund your utility, your opportunities. And we want to be helpful. I think it's human nature to want to be good. Absolutely. We want to be helpful. We want to take care, the people who are closest to us first, your own family, but it feels good to get outside of your family, help other people. And without money, it's challenging to do that. And I mean, you can raise awareness and all that, but at some point, somebody's going to have to write a check, right? Yeah. Somebody's going to have to fund whatever. It takes money. It takes resources. And I think the degree to which money can be painful, money can be fulfilling, right? But I think that's why you have that symmetry, is because it really is about what you can do with your life, what you as a person are capable of. And I think one thing we want to, a wall we want to break down here on this podcast and on this show, are the limits you're putting on yourself that are putting you in a place to where you can't do as much as you really can. So, and those can be things you learned as a kid, or things you've learned as an adult. It doesn't matter, but we want to uproot those and replace those with the truth about money.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we hope we answered the question, why does money hurt so much, here on Money Therapy. Tune in next week, and you will listen to us maybe answer another really important question.
Hopefully so.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week.